Chant and praise of Zazen.
From the beginning all beings are Buddha. Like water and ice, without water no ice, outside us no Buddhas. How near the truth, yet how far we seek. Like one in water crying, I thirst. Like the son of a rich man wandering poor on this earth, we endlessly circle the 6 worlds. The cause of our sorrow is ego delusion. From dark path to dark path we've wandered in darkness. How can we be free from the wheel of samsara? The gateway to freedom is Zazen Samadhi. Beyond exaltation, beyond all our praises, the pure Maha.
Observing the precepts, repentance and giving.
The countless good deeds and the way of right living all come from Zazen. Thus one true Samadhi extinguishes evils. It purifies karma, dissolving obstructions. Then where the dark paths to lead us astray? The pure lotus land is not far away. Hearing this truth, heart humble and grateful, to praise and embrace it, to practice is wisdom, brings unending blessings, brings mountains of merit. And if we turn inward and prove our true nature, that true self is no self, our own self is no self, we go beyond ego and past clever words. Then the gate to the oneness of cause and effect is thrown open. Not 2 and not 3, straight ahead runs the way. Our form now being no form, in going and returning we never leave home. Our thought now being no thought, our dancing and songs are the voice of the Dharma.
How vast is the heaven
The boundless Samadhi, how bright and transparent, the moonlight of wisdom. What is there outside us? What is there we lack? Nirvana is openly shown to our eyes. This earth where we stand is the pure lotus land. And this very body, the body of Buddha. This is the 4th day of this January 1981 Toronto Sesshin. And it's a beautiful day outside. Sun is glistening through the frozen windows. And if you ask me, how do you know? I looked up. We will continue reading from Bassui, letter number 2, from the 3 Pillars of Zen. We're still in the 2nd letter to the abbess of Shinryu-ji. Last sentence we had read, only because the terrors of hell are so little known to them do men have no desire for the teachings of the Buddha. There was a bodhisattva who attained enlightenment by concentrating intently on every sound he heard. So Shakyamuni Buddha called him Kanon. Footnote says, Kanon is a simplification of Kanzeon, which means hearer of the cries of the world. Not just the sounds of the birds, the laughter of children, but also the noise inside and the cries of the world. All of that has to be heard completely. And in the hearing, can there be a going beyond? Kanzeon in Chinese, Kuan Yin. Avalokiteshvara in Sanskrit. Often referred to as a she. Many of the statues and pictures of Kanon have a female quality. Some of them you can't tell, male or female, which is a harmonious human being. But one cannot tell, male or female. Both the feminine and the masculine harmonized
within a human being. Not one lording it over the other. If you would know the substance of the mind, Buddha, the very instant you hear a sound, search for this one who hears. In other words, not get enamored with a sound or repulsed by the sound, criticizing it, rejecting it, or loving it, but turning inside, turning the sound, the light, the energy inside into the question, who? Or mu. Thus you will unfailingly come to the realization that your own mind is no different from kanons. Kanon, of course, not just being the bodhisattva of hearing, the bodhisattva of infinite, unceasing love and compassion. Can that be discovered within oneself, uncovered, allowed to fill? A love which is not divisive, a love which knows no jealousy because it is not possessive, a love which is not just for this one or that one, but which knows no distinction, which is all embracing. Demanding nothing in return. This mind is neither being nor non-being. People are afraid when they get deeply into the practice. What is going to happen to their existence? Well, what is your existence? Other than the idea of it. Of course, there's a body there. Well, nobody threatens that. You're well fed, well clothed. The place is really warmer than any winter sesshin place we've ever had. And yet when this anguish comes up for one's existence, which one is very blurry about, it's the existence of the thought of oneself, the image of oneself, coming to an end. And why on earth are we anxious about that? Why on earth do we want that image to continue? The image we have to defend, we have to nourish, we have to aggrandize or knock down. The image that always smarts when somebody doesn't treat it properly, and then generates rancor, resentment. This is what we think we are. It's what we think is our existence, this me. It's all based on past experiences, how people have treated us, or heroes we want to imitate, become like. This mind is neither being nor non-being. When there are no images, it doesn't mean that one is wiped or washed out. On the contrary. There's a completely new sensitivity there, and awareness. and love and forgiveness. Not I forgive you, there's no I and no you. Just a wiping clean of the slate. A wiping clean of the mental bookkeeping. What you did, what I did, what I'm going to do, what you might do. All images and thoughts. Revolving us endlessly in the six worlds. This mind is neither being nor non-being. It transcends all forms, and yet it is inseparable from them. As we recite, the Bodhisattva of compassion saw the emptiness, saw into, saw through the emptiness of thinking, imagining, feeling, willing, choosing, and consciousness itself, which is the summation of all of that. And sundered the bonds that caused him or her suffering. Which doesn't mean Bodhisattva became deaf and dumb and unfeeling and sensitive like a stone. But all the senses then were working as one. With no one dividing them up, grasping this and rejecting that. Explaining this, labeling that. Do not try to prevent thoughts from arising. And do not cling to any that have arisen. Such an elementary advice. And yet one must hear it over and over again. Because one does continuously fight the thoughts that arise or cling to those that have arisen. Isn't that so? Let them appear and disappear as they will, and don't struggle with them. Elsewhere it said, can the mind be like a mirror reflecting it all? A mirror never grasps anything. Freely lets it come and go. After things have disappeared, there's no stain left. You need only unremittingly and with all your heart ask yourself, what is my own mind, or what is Mo? Who am I? Who? Mo. Can this question be asked lovingly? One person brought that up in Dokusan. Really deeply disturbed. There was no love in all that. Why not? And we don't talk about a show of it, because that's not love. Love means no rejection, no resistance, no division, no fear. Above all, no fear. No ambition, acquisitiveness. Moo. The moo in the asking, the who in the asking. Is it possible that it cleanses itself of all of that? By seeing it and dropping it. The seeing being the melting. And moo, a pure moo. Not as an ideal. Can one do it that way? Leave it as a question. And don't berate yourself. If it's dry, like the desert, then it's a dry moo. It is what it is. What is it? I keep urging this, says Bassui, because I want to bring you to self-realization. When you persistently try to understand what is beyond the domain of the intellect, you're bound to reach a dead end, completely baffled. Push on. Sitting or standing, working or sleeping, probe tirelessly to your deepest self with the question, what is my own mind? Or what is moo? Or what is who? Or just moo or who? Or just the breathing? Fear nothing but the failure to experience your true nature. This is Zen practice. This fear of failure, maybe we should say a few things about it. This is not panic. The normal panic before an exam. What if I fail the bars? Or a medical examination and I may not be able to, this and that. I wouldn't even talk about failure. Rather the urgency to see into it. If the urgency is not there, well then it's not there. The teacher can't manufacture it for you. But maybe it'll come as you look around, inside and out. Trying not to deceive yourself about what you see or don't see. When the intense questioning envelops every inch of you, penetrates to the very bottom of all bottoms, the question will suddenly burst and the substance of the Buddha mind be revealed. Just as a mirror concealed in a box reflects its surroundings only after the box is broken apart. After the walls have crumbled down. This pure asking, which we talked about, this cleansed questioning, that is the breaking down of the walls. Because the walls that we face in our zazen is no other than ourselves. Our selfish way of going about things, which has been drilled into us since time immemorial. The radiance of this mind will light up every corner of the universe, free of even a single blemish. You will be liberated at last from the entanglements within the 6 realms, all effects of evil actions having vanished. The joy of this moment cannot be put into words. Course Ezi. 6th Patriarch Wei Nung never failed to point out one enlightened thought in an ordinary being becomes a Buddha, or is a Buddha, has no becoming. One deluded thought, one self-centered, self-enclosing thought, and Buddha is an ordinary being. The thought, I have accomplished something now, whoosh, there's an entanglement again. Can it be seen quickly before it sprouts all kinds of roots? Dangling vines, as the masters say. Consider a person suffering intensely in a dream where, having fallen into hell, he's being tortured. Bassui was obsessed with his hell. It left a real deep imprint. These nightmares he had as a child. Consider a person suffering intensely in a dream where, having fallen to hell, he's being tortured. Once he awakens, his suffering ceases. For he's now liberated from his delusion. We've all experienced this, I'm sure. We had a real nightmare. Almost dying, maybe one already dreamt oneself being dead, and then all of a sudden one wakes up. It's unbelievable. It wasn't so. It was so real. And yet here one is, in a bed, quite comfortable. Alive and kicking. In the same way, through self-realization, one frees himself from the sufferings of life and death. The suffering, meaning the separation from it. Life is life, death is death, they go together. No full deep life without dying to all the hankerings and clamorings and attachments, which means dying to the fear of standing on one's own. If one can stand alone, one need not cling, which does not mean one withdraws from relationship. On the contrary, there's nothing that one is not related to, lovingly. Or at times quarrelingly. For enlightenment, not nobility of birth or wide learning, but only strong determination is essential. Some people in Doksan, it comes out, feel some I don't know how to put it, anger at this word enlightenment being battered around so much. Find another one. It doesn't matter what you call it. Understanding, clarity, freedom. All of these words can be misused. And no word is the thing. Because the thing is no thing. So don't get discouraged when the word enlightenment crops up, but find out what this is that is being talked about in yourself. So maybe a new word will come up in you. For enlightenment, not nobility of birth or wide learning, but only strong determination is essential. Buddhas bear the same relation to sentient beings as water does to ice. Ice, like stone or brick, cannot flow. It's stuck. It's cold, brittle, unwieldy. But when it melts, it flows freely, in conformity with its surroundings. So long as one remains in a state of delusion, he is like ice, or she is like ice. Upon realization, one becomes as exquisitely free as water. What melts ice? It's heat. It's fire. It's the heat and the fire and the passion of one's questioning. So you will understand that there is no difference between ordinary beings and Buddhas except for one thing: delusion. Ego delusion. Separateness delusion. Delusion of isolation. And all that goes with it, defense and aggression. When it is dissolved, delusion that is, they are identical. Don't allow yourself to become discouraged. Don't allow yourself to become discouraged. But when you are discouraged, don't condemn it. Then you are that. Of course everybody gets discouraged. You can't do this thing without becoming discouraged because you do it in your habitual way. Trying to do it like a battering ram. I want, I must, I. It's a wonderful thing for this I to really thoroughly become discouraged. Because it can't do a thing except become absolutely quiet, motionless, shine through its absence. So how one goes about discouragement is very significant. Whether you just get another fraction of yourself, another I part, to comfort you again. Or another I part to scold you for your discouragement. It's all the I. Let it be discouraged. Let it feel weak. Let it feel impotent, helpless, insufficient, because that's what it is. Except in this competitive society, the I can achieve a lot. Not just competitively, the I has achieved incredible things. The I energy. Build huge empires which other eyes destroy. But here, rejoice when it's discouraged. And leave it there. Moo, hoo. Is that asked by the I? Does it come in through the back door, wanting something? Well, we start where we are. We always start where we are. But maybe in the asking, there's an uncovering, a denuding, a cleansing. Until there's only mu and hu. Or the passionate yearning to find out, which is no longer the I. It is there in every human being, a passionate yearning to come to one, to embrace. To find harmony. Because this great infinite universe is in harmony. In spite of the fact that destruction and creation are going on all the time. Just recently saw a series in television called Cosmos. Amazing that the stuff we're made of is the stuff of dying stars that have died uncountable eons ago. The elements were produced then, which made life possible now. Don't allow yourself to become discouraged. If your desire for truth is wanting, you may be unable to attain enlightenment in this life. But if you carry on your Zen practice faithfully, even while dying, you will unquestionably achieve enlightenment in your next existence. I wouldn't count on it. I wouldn't postpone it. A very dangerous thing. Well, next existence. Maybe I'll have more nimble legs or more fire and passion for this kind of strange thing. I wouldn't postpone anything. Because you pile up all kind of garbage in the meantime, which somehow or other will have to be dealt with. And yet, one person once came into Doksan really panic-struck. I won't be able to do it now, in this lifetime. I know I won't. And then hell and so forth. I'd read too much, that person. Look, in this there is no time. When one really practices seriously, mu and hu, where is there room for tomorrow, next or last? These are all thoughts again. But don't dawdle. Here he comes immediately with a warning. Don't dawdle. Imagine yourself on your deathbed at this very moment. What alone can help you? Comfort? Somebody who tells you, oh, you're still going to live. You're not dying. You're going to be all right. Oh, this must be really painful to a dying person to be told that, if a person really feels that. Remember one time, after surgery, nurses coming in all well, anybody who's had surgery knows You, you come out of that and there's nothing but tubes. And the minute you move, it hurts. And the ideas about all of that, they are really the worst pain. And all the sweet nurses telling me, you'll be all right. And then this doctor came in. He's an older man. And he said, it's a miserable life you're leading, isn't it? That felt right. Spoke to the condition. He hit the mark. What alone can help you? There's fortunately a broad path to liberation. From your very roots, ask this one question. Moo or who? Or what is my mind? Whatever the question is you need to resolve. Which means all the energies are gathered. They're not dispelled and wasted. They're gathered and turned inward. Not allowed to enervate and energize the circus upstairs. If you would see the substance of all Buddhas in a trice, realize your own mind. Is what I say true or false? Wonderful thing to ask. Is what I say true or false? By no means, because anybody says it, take it for being true. But find out yourself whether it's true or false. And as somebody pointed out, in Middle Eastern and Western religions, faith, believing, is the foundation stone. You must believe in God and Christ and Muhammad. In the Eastern religions, doubt is the cornerstone. Socrates. Doubting. All the Eastern religious giants, Lao Tzu, Confucius, Chuang-Tzu, Buddha. I don't know them all. But the doubting, the questioning, the searching inwardly is the cornerstone of the religion. It's a completely different way of living, whether one doubts with a capital D or whether one believes. So is what I say true or false? Ask yourself this instant, what is Mu? Who? Upon your enlightenment, the lotus will blossom in a roaring fire and endure throughout eternity. Something blossoming in a roaring fire, the tremendous metaphor here. We have been traveling over the past years through some of these incredible forests and on the western coast, these redwood and sequoia forests. And it was pointed out to us by the ranger that there's a whole species of evergreens, I forget the name, where the seed may lie around dormant for decades, for 100 years, until a forest fire happens. Then that seed in this intense heat will burst. There'll be a new sprout. Isn't it amazing and wonderful? The lotus, of course, also having its roots in the mud. Murky, you can't even look supposedly into a lotus pool. It's so murky and muddy. And then this blossom, pure, unblemished, right out of the mud, opening up with all its fragrance for anybody to smell. Man inherently is no different from the lotus. Can you grasp this? This is the end of this letter. We'll now recite together the 4 vows.
All beings without number.
I vow to liberate endless blind passions. I vow to uproot Dharma gates beyond measure. I vow to penetrate the great way of Buddha. I vow to attain